Alyssa. This is Nick, Katie, Miles, and Lynsey, and we're here to talk to you today about an interactive program called Addiction After Hours. But first, imagine this. A 65-year-old male is taken to the ER where he complains about the same pain that brought him in the last time. He is eventually admitted to the hospital where he is taken through a course of IV fluids, antibiotics, and a number of consults from different physicians to try and identify the source of pain. But again, like the last visit, the source of pain cannot be found, so he is sent home with an increase in his pain medication. The problem is that he came in for surgery a couple months ago. However, when he met with his surgeon, the surgeon said that he would be pain-free after surgery. But in all reality, he would not be pain-free. It's about working up to being pain-free, or there may be a little bit of pain after that surgery. So in his mindset, he felt like he had to keep taking that pain medicine until he didn't feel the pain, which hence caused his addiction. And this is the underlying problem. So I'm going to hand it over to Miles, who will talk to you about the problem pain.
So in general, there's 3 different types of surgeries that you can undergo. There's emergency, urgent, and elective. So with emergency, the surgery is performed when you come in from the emergency room. Urgent is whenever it's scheduled within 24 hours, and elective is past 24 hours. So there's 3 different ways that you can educate somebody on after their surgery. They may not even know that they're going to be having surgery, or it may be very planned out. So there's different ways that you can educate someone, and that needs to be looked over. Another issue is over-promising pain-free. So I spoke with Linda White, the president of the Deaconess Foundation, and she basically solidified the fact that one of the main things that doctors are focusing on right now is trying to have positive reviews and trying to keep everybody pain-free and keeping everybody happy, basically. Where I also talked to Dr. Kyla Pico from St. Vincent, Indy, where she basically informed me that doctors are under a lot of pressure to be doing this as well, not only even if they don't want to be doing it, if they believe that somebody doesn't necessarily need it, they feel the pressure from those above that they need to be giving people what they want and being pain-free. So that's another issue that needs to be tackled. That kind of goes along with the overprescribing, where they're giving too many pills initially. That leads into not knowing or not being able to dispose of old medication, which is where you get your cabinet addicts and things like that. And another issue is that paper pamphlets, the way they educate you now is just outdated, and a more interactive way to educate on these issues needs to come.
So like Miles said, pamphlets are outdated and just not engaging anymore. We spoke with an RN at Deaconess Gateway, and she confirmed that as well. Our solution is an interactive video. It's 5 minutes long, contains videos and quiz questions throughout, which makes it interactive. We go over proper pain management, signs of addiction, how to properly dispose of your medication, and how and where to get help if a problem arises. The doctors and nurses can actually check to see if this is done, and it has to be completed before surgery. We are targeting more towards hospitals and outpatient facilities. So I'm going to turn it over to Katie.
For our product differentiation, we decided to go with 3 of the main hospitals in Indiana, and then 4 components that we think are important for addiction. And the first one is an interactive video, and with that, our Addiction After Hours program is the only box that's checked. And like Lynsey said, the Addiction After Hours is a 5-minute interactive video, and this video would help patients learn more about what they should do after surgery, and it's focused on whatever surgery that the patient is having. So if someone's getting a knee replacement or a hip replacement, the video will show you what to do for that and how and where your pain levels should be. For addresses addiction, only 2 out of the 3 hospitals did this as well as the Addiction After Hours program. St. Vincent actually gives their patients a 60-page book before they have surgery of what to expect and what to do. And instead of the 60-page book, people would be just watching the 5-minute interactive video. So this would be a much easier and more effective way for patients to learn what they need to be doing. And then also we wanted to focus on something that's very user-friendly and easy to use. Many people that have surgeries, they're older or they don't want to spend time reading and worrying about what could happen. And lastly, the Addiction After Hours has an interactive questionnaire, and with this, the patients can ask doctors and nurses questions that they have or worries that they have, and this would not be breaking the HIPAA law because the Addiction After Hours program would not see the questions, only the doctors and nurses would by a generic username and login.
So for the opportunity size, we broke it down to the lowest amount of hospital beds a hospital will hold, and then the largest amount, so about 100 to 400. You can see that outpatient surgeries are above 3,500 on average, and then inpatient surgeries are above 1,400, with total operations still remaining in the thousands. So you can see the number of surgeries per year is still quite high, no matter what category it's in. So with providing the interactive video, there's obviously a great opportunity size there to help prevent anything that's occurring now or to add additional value to what's already existing.
So our business model, we plan to use our key partners to segment towards our primary customers. So what we would do would be partnering with hospitals and doctors to create our content and increase our knowledge base. This would in turn help the doctors and hospitals that partner with us to also be successful customers. Along with that, we would have our secondary customers would be the patients of said hospitals and doctors. One way that we would create a relationship with them would be for us to rate your video at the end. That would give them the ability to tell us any improvements we can make, if the video was helpful, things like that. Also on our value proposition, the main thing that we're going to be focusing on is to be simplistic and educational while also being impactful and user-friendly. Now I'm going to turn it over to Nick for the rest.
So some of our key resources will be a media company and a script writer, and then some of our customer channels will be a website and surgery conferences. This will happen between the doctors and nurses who are actually making sure that these patients are doing these videos. Some of the costs we'll have wrapped up in this will be the making of the video, personnel time, and content creation. And then our revenue will come from the license and payment of the video and content, which will be streaming to these patients.
So some of our cost profit analysis would be the video and the website. The initial cost for both of those would be about $40,000, and then our recurring payments would be $120,000 for our employees to keep up with the website and continue to research on content that we need. So our startup, we would be getting the Small Business Innovation Research Grant from the National Institute of Health. This grant is for small businesses entering the medical field that are targeting towards general patient care. So that would be where we would fit in with having the care of the prescriptions and things like that. We would charge per month and per year regarding on how big the hospital is and how often they would be needing to use it, and we would be generating profit by the first year.
All in all, we know that there's a need for prescription education in the world, and we think that the Addiction After Hours is an interactive educational program that's targeted towards hospitals and outpatient facilities.